Wow. It's the longest winter vacation anybody ever had. I mean, if students, if people in actual CPS classes had winter vacations this long, they wouldn't need a spring vacation.
Man, I swear.
But we
I
here.
swear. We
I don't
back.
know when we had the last time to do an actual student to the game, but here we are on a morning edition. This is not Joe with Joe. I do have some Joe on the table, but I also have some water on the table because this ain't actually Joe with Joe. It's actually SOTG. This is actually a students of the game production here.
Students of
152.
the
We in the
game, I take
building.
responsibility. Students
Hold
of the
on.
game, I take responsibility.
Okay,
Like
taking
Nori said.
responsibility. Be a
Like Nori
doctor,
said.
like Dr. Joseph Gregory, Dr. Chris Rouse, who's quoting Noriega lyrics. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be back on SOTG, man. It ain't been SOTG in a long time because Thursday, man, our Thursdays be clogged up. I mean, my Thursday clogged up today. That's why we're doing it in the morning. So,
They have
you
been.
know,
They have been.
yeah, man. I got a game tonight. Chicago State men tonight, big dog.
You got a
Chicago
game
State
tonight.
men. Yeah,
UFC women. UFC women.
yeah.
But
We
yeah,
clogged up on
man.
Thursday.
Let's get to all. It's been all kind of breaking news all morning in the NFL. The latest news coming about 10 minutes ago. Chicago Bears hiring defensive coordinator of the Colts, Matt Eberflus, to be their next head coach. And that came on the heels of Ben Roethlisberger at about 9:11 a.m. this morning, retiring from the NFL after 18 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
2 Super Bowl victories with the Steelers, making 6 Pro Bowls, and retiring. And that came on the heels of early this morning, the
Right,
Broncos
hiring.
hiring offensive coordinator of the Packers, Nathaniel Hackett, to be their next head coach. Would
Do
that
you think?
mean?
Do you
Does
think?
that?
Do you think? Do you think he could hack it into Mile High City?
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of weapon you have out there in the West. I don't know if you're gonna be able to obtain the AR-12 hits or something, but we gonna see how that work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Also yesterday, a statue of Kobe and Gianna Bryant was placed there near that crash site in Calabasas, California, where that helicopter tragically crashed 2 years ago and ended their lives.
And let me say something about Kobe real quick. It's crazy to think that that's 2 years already. That was 2 years ago already. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild to me that Kobe and the other 8 people in there, you know, his daughter, the Altabellis and Chester. It's crazy to think that they all been gone for 2 years already.
Yeah,
I still
man.
remember where I was at when that happened.
I was over at my mom's house actually.
Yeah,
I was in the kitchen.
I was doing a U Chicago basketball doubleheader.
It was
On
almost.
Sunday.
It was almost.
Yeah.
So it happened. So like in the middle of the day on a Sunday, on Sunday afternoon, it was just like almost unbelievable. Like you almost. I was in shock. Almost just told almost like, oh, a matter. Kobe Bryant just died.
Yeah, I don't want to say it was perfect timing, but I was doing a U Chicago doubleheader, and it happened in between the games. So I had like about
Wow.
30 minutes to like take it and process it. And I'll never forget, shout out John Z. He walked up to me. He was like, yo, so apparently Kobe Bryant just died? I was like, what? And I look at my phone and you get all these tweets, you know, you see all the LA news reports and all that. It's like, damn. It's crazy to think that's 2 years ago.
And one more thing in the news of the day, the Vikings also hiring the general manager this morning. They hired Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah from the Cleveland Browns organization, from their personnel department, to be their next GM, taking over for Rick Spielman.
Hey, look.
And that's students of the game news of the day. What's up?
I'm not always, you know, I'm not one to always go the racial route, but I'm happy to see a lot of black GMs get hired lately. Happy to see the black man some black men get empowered in the NFL, considering that's something that has been an issue for years. How many black coaches, how many black GMs, and now we got 2 black GMs hired in a matter of about 36 hours. So salute to that.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, and we'll see how the coaching cycle goes as these playoffs continue in the NFL. But first, since we are back, let's run with the Bulls. We're on a 2-game winning streak after handling the Dinosaurs last night, 111-105. A very, very entertaining game.
Yes, it was.
DeMar DeRozan finishing with 29 points. Zach LaVine finishing with 23. Gary Trent Jr. got hot. Finished with like 33 for them, and before he got ejected. Some potty mouth and some bad words toward the referees and
potty mouth.
got into it with Butch a little bit. So yes, but the Bulls able to hold on. They had a 19-point lead in the third quarter. Second straight game, the Bulls had a big lead and had to hold off the opponent to win. See them in action again Friday when they take on Portland Trailblazers.
That should be on here.
Should be. Vucevic, 17 points, turmoil. 15 rebounds also last night. Big three with about a minute left to stretch the lead from 3-6. So hopefully the Bulls, since they continue to get some bodies back, you see Javonte Green coming back now. You see Zach LaVine coming back. So hopefully as they start to get some bodies back, they'll be able to do better. Very unfortunate what happened to Alex Caruso while we've been away from you. Yeah. Just as he was able to come back from COVID and the foot injury or whatever he was battling with the lower leg, then he has the fractured wrist because of the acts of one Grayson Allen. So we're just having to battle through it, man.
While we on Grayson Allen, first off, I'm not putting him in detention. I have a mixed reaction on that because when I first saw it, I agree with what Jeff Van Gundy said when he made the first play on the ball and he grabbed it. I thought that was a play on the ball. The second play, I think that's 50-50 because yes, he missed badly and hit all wrists on Caruso, but I also thought you could make a case that still was a basketball play. He was trying to swipe at the ball, he just missed badly. So for me, I got mixed reactions on it. I expected he would get one game. I think that's about right. But if you want me to be all the way real, I think he really only got that game because he got a history. So, I mean, I'm cool with the 1 game suspension. Speedy recovery to Alex Caruso. Speedy recovery to Lonzo Ball, who had a knee surgery this morning. Speedy recovery to Derrick Jones Jr., who just broke a finger earlier this week. I know what that's like.
He's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks for that.
All three of them are going to be out.
And it's like, and Derrick Jones Jr. was just getting over the knee scare that he had a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. We thought he did something really bad to his knee early in that game. Who was that game against? Was that the Golden State game?
I think it might have been Golden State. Well, it was on that road trip though. I know what you're talking about.
And we thought he did something really. It might have been Brooklyn even. I'm not sure.
Brooklyn? I can't remember. If it wasn't Golden State.
Anyway, he had the bad hyperextension. He's coming back from that, and like you say now, practice the broken finger. So, boys, it's a battle of nutrition, man. Battle of attrition, man. Trying to make it through be healthy in the NBA in a long 82 game season.
Yes, sir. I agree with that.
So, man, hopefully they'll be able to battle through it.
I think that's all it is. They just going through the growing pains of COVID and injury right now. They'll be all right. They'll be all right come playoff time.
Yeah, man. So, the MVP discussion right now. You missed the World Class Hoops podcast. Man. There's been a lot of players have been balling. Man. I've been trying to watch what I can. It's hard now. I've been trying to watch, see what I can peep out, man. I'm just like, man, it's going down right now. First it started off, Steph started off, felt like it was just Steph on a mission. They started off with their first 19-3 right out the gate or whatever. Now we see some of the other players developing. We see Clay coming back. Steph has still been balling out. He's still winning and everything, but we see he's almost letting other players get in the flow of the game now.
Yeah.
Instead of just airing people out for 50, it felt like a 40, like he was doing the very first early part of the season. We had Kevin Durant being the scorer that he is. What he does, what he brings to the table, almost a walking 30. Hard to defend. Brooklyn right at the top, toward the top of the Eastern Conference standings. And now, boom, he sprains his MCL. He's going to be out for a couple of months. So now, it's like guys are just emerging. I don't know. I've seen Embiid. I know he just had that streak of like 12 out of like 30. He's like 14 out of his last 15 games with 30.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been killing it. I mean, you got the Joker, his usual. Six straight.
I don't know about him.
6 straight 25, 8 games.
That's cool.
I mean, and still fighting to get some big wins. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean,
I wouldn't put him in MVP because to me, this Steph Curry's to lose. So, like, there's nobody. There's only, if you want me to be real with you, there's 5 people that I would consider for MVP.
Let me see if I got any of these 4 or 5.
Better yet, here's what I do. I'll give you 6, and one of them is like the 6th man. Steph should win it. Steph should be the winner. Number 2 should be DeRozan.
I see
3,
that. I got that name here.
Yeah, well, Steph should be 1. 2 should be DeRozan. 3 would be Kevin Durant, even though he's been hurt. And then 4 would be Ja Morant, and 5 would be Chris Paul. And the guy off the bench would be Joel Embiid. Or I'm sorry, Embiid would be 5th. Chris Paul would be the guy off the bench. Flip-flop those 2.
Yeah, I like how Joel Embiid has really been balling. No Jokic. And I think about here, no Jokic. What's wrong with Jokic here?
What's wrong with Jokic? Denver's been up and down all year, and I can't unsee him blindsiding the Morris twin. He's been playing well, but think about the guys I just listed. Like Steph Curry's way better than Jokic. Embiid's ahead of Jokic, and they play the same position. DeRozan, like it's kind of. I really don't see DeRozan I really don't see Jokic in the MVP this year. He's good. He's the reigning MVP. He's a candidate, but I can't put him over those 6 people I just named.
I don't know who the MVP is right now. That's why
Steph Curry.
That's why I just put the top part.
I feel you, but it's 30, dog. It's 30.
I think it's still 30.
It's 30.
I just feel like I had them probably by like a wider margin at the beginning, but now I feel like that gap is closed now a little bit, and it's like a whole cluster of contenders. Like somebody else haven't really getting off like every week. Like Devin Booker's starting to put up some 40-point games as Phoenix continues to win. You just said Chris Paul.
That's why he's 6 though. But that's why he's 6 because D Book is starting to play well. And also, man, Bismack Biyombo, that might be an underrated pickup. I don't know if you've been seeing how he's been playing for Phoenix, but he's been really killing for the Suns. That might
just
be
play your role.
Pickup. Yeah.
Just play the role. Just don't try to just do what you normally do. Play defense and block shots and putbacks and oops. That's what you normally do, right? That's all we need for our offense for 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Hey, remember he finessed somebody out of $70 million a few years ago after that that playoff run with Toronto. So he might be trying to run that back, bro.
Finesse.
He's trying to finesse somebody out of $70 million again. hey, it ain't a finesse if it pay off. This time it's paying off.
Is there anybody in the chat this morning?
No, ain't nobody in the chat this morning, man. I think they all at work.
Everybody's at work in that school. That's
Monday.
A good thing.
It ain't Monday, so they not tired of work. Today they friendly today.
Right. That means my nephew is at school. My nephew is at school and everybody else is at work. That's what's happening. That's a great thing.
Hey, dedication. Hey, I like that. I like that, bro. In the chat, dedication. Richard T. Nelson. He said he in the chat. He getting his oil change. I'm gonna be getting my oil change too, bro. I feel you on that, man. But welcome in, Richard, man. Richard T. Nelson, my man, Rick. I gotta get a PS5 so we can get back on some Madden. But Bills.
Shout out to Richard T. Nelson.
Hey, Rick, I'm gonna tell you direct, Rick. Bills and games, bro. That's why I ain't got it yet. Bills and games, bro. Ain't got number games every day.
Shout out to Richard T. Nelson. Under the hoop. Just wanted to hit some quick things. I just been seeing. I just been feeling like just looking at the pulse of the NBA and everything. Clippers. You know that Paul George expected to miss a few more weeks with this UCL problem he's got going on with his elbow. We know there hasn't been any Kawhi Leonard. Reggie Jackson has been trying to carry that team. Morris, Kennard. I mean, he's been carrying the team.
Right, he's been trying.
He has been carrying the team. But right now they're like, you want to talk about up and down? They're 25 and 25. I guess that's the epitome of up and down.
Middle. That's the epitome of middle of the road.
You just gonna laugh at them.
Yeah, man, that's the epitome of middle of the road. 500.
I mean, they just gonna laugh at them like that.
Bro, you know how many 8-8 Bear season I seen? I don't try to hear about their misery. Get over it. We're not even on NFL yet. Talk about
they
got 32 games. They got 32 games to get it together. I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that garbage.
They are 8th right now in the West. I really haven't heard anything. Well, I need to ask you, what's the any timetable for Kawhi and his return here, debut of the season? Nothing.
Hey, I know about as much as you do, bro. I know about as much as you do right now, man. Even with all my quote insiders and my connections to NBA players, I know about as much as y'all do right now, bro.
Okay. And he can say that with a giggle, and he will. So, what do you think about the Clippers in this trade deadline? What should they be doing? I mean,
Blow it
I
up.
don't know. I don't know if they have a lot of movable people or contracts on that squad, or is this just a thing where they need their stars to come back, hopefully healthy before the end of the year if they plan on making any kind of run, making any kind of noise in the playoffs.
I agree with you. They do need the stars to come back, but I'm also at the point where I'm like, honestly, it might be better to blow it up because I don't think Kawhi's coming back. It started like Kawhi might not come back next season because he still has the option at the end of the year. You signed Paul George for 4 years, so I mean, honestly, it's starting to get to that point where it's like you might want to just blow it up and you try to build around Paul George for these last 2 years if possible. But with that being said, shout out to the Clippers, very resilient team. Reggie Jackson's been killing. He had a good game a few weeks ago at a loss that I was watching on ESPN. Luke Kennard had a huge game last night against the Wizards, or 2 nights ago when they came back from 35 points.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, hard resiliency. It's just they don't have enough like I thought they did a year ago.
Boston recently acquired Denver forward Bo in a 3-way deal with them. Yeah. I believe in the Nuggets and the Hawks with other teams.
They got Dozier too, didn't they?
Yeah, PJ Dozier also.
They just signed all our Windy City guys. Just going on.
So is this the time when Bo will finally get a chance to really play? Even though we always talk about his talent and he's 7'2" and he's great this and he's great that, but I don't know what was going on in Denver. It's like you really get a chance to get on the floor. It's being 7'2", being that height, feel like should be a real matchup advantage. It's just his time to really get some time and maybe flourish in Boston, especially when they got to focus on Tatum and Brown.
I agree with you. I think this could be his opportunity to flourish, but the reason he wasn't playing in Denver is simple. I mean, he was playing behind the MVP. Like, you want them to take minutes from the MVP to give it to you, unproven second-year player in the league? Like, that's just not going to happen. So,
I mean, what is the actual position here in the NBA? Is he 7'2"?
That too.
We'll just try to play him at center, but he's only like 210. I don't know if he's going to be like a stretch forward or what's going on.
Well, the thing with Bo, he has the ability to play the center. Obviously, he's 7'2". He's just paper thin. And that's the next step up for him. That's been the next step up for him in the G League. He has the ability to hit the baseline jumper. But I will say this. I saw him going up against Hasheem Thabeet in person a few years ago in the G League. And he was getting pushed around. And honestly, he don't look like he added no more muscle than he did in that game. And that was like December 2019 when that happened. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say, man. That's going to be the next step, adding that muscle. He has the ability to play in the post. He has the footwork. Can he take that physical beating from a guy like a Joel Embiid, a guy like a Nikola Jokic, who he played behind, as he moves forward to try to be a starting center? Hell, can you even take a Robert Williams, who I think is a bruiser on the glass?
Brooklyn has lost their last couple of games. Last night to the Nuggets, led by Jokic. And a couple of nights before that to the Lakers. Durant is not back yet. We know that. He's still going to be out for another few weeks. Right now, Brooklyn is 4th in the East. 2 games back. Also, Joe Harris had a setback coming back from his ankle injury. He's going to be back a little bit long. Going to take him a little bit more than an 8-week timetable that they had.
And James Harden having an emotional setback. He tired of it. He tired of all these.
Yeah, he's tired of all the drama.
Tired of all these. Right? He tired of all this, man.
So is this just something that's something they're gonna work through and still end up being Eastern Conference champions, or is this something bigger in Brooklyn?
On the court, they got the same problem the Bulls have, which is you have to get healthy and you battling COVID. So they have the same problem the Bulls have in regards to on the court. The problem for Brooklyn is more so off the court with Kyrie, because they've kind of, I don't want to say coddled him, but they've kind of like coddled him, pretty much saying like, hey man, the ball is in your court, bro. We gonna let you play whenever you feel like it, and that's why James Harden is upset. I think he's tired of all the off the court nonsense. He just want to play some basketball. All the people out, COVID. Look, everybody got injuries. Everybody dealing with COVID. But when you got a guy that's literally not playing in games because of the vaccine, it's like you gotta, at some point you gotta be like, all right, we'll use you when we got you, but outside of that, we gotta learn to play without Kyrie. So, I mean, Brooklyn still got to figure out that Kyrie situation. Until they do that, I think there's going to be some turmoil in that locker room.
And that's just something I guess they put up with because he's just such a transcendent talent, right?
Yeah,
because he can, when he's in the lineup, he could put up 30. But when is he going to be in the lineup? to put up that 30.
I can tell you like this: if Bruce Brown tried that, he wouldn't be on the team.
Exactly. You better, they be like, Bruce, you better go get your ass vaccinated. You'll be up there playing with us. You better be there to set these screens for James and catch these baseline dump offs from Durant. You up here just talking about you ain't gonna be vaccinated.
The moment Bruce Brown said he get vaccinated, that'd be the moment we all get the alert. Nets wave Bruce Brown. Nets wave Bruce Brown. G, that's the way would you get that alert? G?
Trying to make my water come through my nose. I'm not having it.
Hey, not to pick on Bruce, but you know that's real. They cut Bruce Brown in the second he said that, bro.
Not to pick on Bruce.
You know,
but
you know they wouldn't let him do that. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hey, Bruce, no shots. I just thought of the first name, and you number one, so. Number one.
Quite sure he's watching right now before practice. So
nah, I don't think he care that much.
Whatever he's doing in his life.
Hey, shout out Landon Wooders, man. Land Cruz the barber. He hit us with the like in the chat. What's good, Cruz? What's good, man?
What's up, Land? Don? What us?
Good, man.
My favorite barber in Oak Park. Only one I know is Oak Park.
All right, I might need to slide out there, man. Cause I'll be out there all the time.
Getting a little long now.
Yeah, I know, man.
I've never had that. I used to have that problem.
I'm about to say, don't tell that lie. Don't tell that lie. You did have it, just you ain't had it in a while.
A long time.
You had it in a while.
Right. So before we get to all this,
well, there you go. Hey, if you out south and you need to cut, there you go.
You're heading south today. There you go.
I don't got time today, so yeah.
He's already at your door now.
Nah, he said he had in Hazel Crest.
Okay, going past.
So, yeah, that's past. Yeah, that's past us.
Okay, before we get into all these hirings and everything that happened this morning, last weekend's football being held as the NFL's best weekend ever because of all the close finishes. Everything being decided on the last play. I mean, it was just crazy. All the Bet fans here ecstatic about the San Francisco 49ers eliminating Green Bay. Ryan Tannehill throwing 3 interceptions and start the day with his pick, end the day with a pick, and get kicked out the playoffs by Evan McPherson. The Bengals they've kicked 4 field goals in each of their playoff victories. Then you had the 49ers winning a game for the first time since 2002, a playoff game without an offensive touchdown. Beating them. And they made the bad man look like a regular guy in the second half, and they were able to come back and rally against the Green Bay. Then you had Tampa Tom and the Buccaneers fall behind.
That was wild. That was wild.
Hey, Chris, did I predict that score right on? I need to go back and watch
You got something like that. It was like 30-27. You had it. But I also said the Niners could make that Packer game interesting by running the ball. And what did they do?
Man, that was crazy.
And I also told you, man, Cincinnati, Kansas City. I said that was gonna be the game. Cincinnati gonna be the next in the long line of teams.
I was almost right. I think I said Buffalo 34-30 or Buffalo 34-31. So I know when you looked at the screen with 13 seconds, he was like, "Damn, I gotta put up with Joe. It's Joe Stradamus again." And then
that was the most entertaining minute of football I've seen in my life.
Entertaining minute and 26. I mean, Tyreek Hill throwing up the deuces. Gabriel Davis is doing his Jerry Rice imitation.
Jerry Rice wish he could be Gabriel Davis.
Gabriel Davis wish he could be Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice got that jewelry. Got the rings. What you want the records of that one record? You want that one record or you want the rings?
I want the rings, but you know what Jerry Rice had that Gabriel Davis didn't have? You know what he had that Gabriel Davis didn't have? He had Joe Montana. He had Joe Montana, and he didn't have to play Pat Mahomes.
That's true. Didn't have to play Pat Mahomes.
He didn't have to play Pat Mahomes.
So what was your most thrilling game of this past weekend?
That's like making me pick between my kids, dude. I loved every game I saw last week.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you had it.
I don't, but if I did, that's how I imagine it would feel. Kansas City and Buffalo easily, man. Like that, you talk about emotional roller coaster, man. When Buffalo went up with like a minute left, I was like, man, I have no idea who's gonna win if Kansas City lose. And like as soon as I tweeted that, Tyreek Hill was running up the field going to the end zone, and then I was jumping up like, "Oh my God, Kansas City! I told y'all!" And then the next play, I'm like, "Damn, Buffalo come back." I'm like, "Damn, Buffalo come back." I'm like, "Damn, what's gonna happen if Kansas City lose?" And then and then the whole time just looking at Buffalo's defense, I'm like, why are y'all not going with 3 down linemen, man? Like they was going with 3 down. They were getting good pressure on Mahomes. They tried to go to 4. And you know what happened? They ended up getting cooked for the touchdown. And then they ended up getting cooked for 2 long plays to force overtime. And rightfully so, they got eliminated. Bad defense.
Wow.
Bad defense. It's bad team, bad situational defense. That's all it comes down to me, for me with Buffalo.
I don't know what was more thrilling for me. I almost want to say the sloppiness of Ryan. I don't want to make a mountain out of a Tannehill, but I think it was the surprising performance of Ryan Tannehill and the Titans offense underperforming in that game against Cincinnati. I mean, damn. I mean, 3 interceptions, man. Three interceptions at the career after starting off the week, coming off a bye week. I mean, damn, that was just terrible. Landon agreeing with you about Buffalo, but that was just terrible. 3rd and 5, they couldn't pick up 3rd and 1 deep in the territory. And it just left Joe Burrow enough time, or gave him enough rope with the last interception, and then gave him enough time. He was able to catch, hit Chase with that last reception to set up the field goal for McPherson. Yeah, this Tennessee I just thought was a great team all year. Ryan Tannehill was playing, he's talking about his best ball, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions the last 3 games of the regular season. And what does he do when he gets to the playoffs? He wet the bed. Wet the bed, and let the country capital down.
I disagree, Lennon. But I will say this: if we get Rams Bengals, I'll be with that. Anybody but Niners. Anybody but the Niners. That's the only team I don't want to see make.
What do you have against the Niners?
I just don't want to watch them run the football all day long. I want to watch them run the football like 30 times in the Super Bowl. I want to see Kansas City and the Rams 54-51 like they did 4 years ago. That's what I want to see.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this game. The Rams.
What's Cincinnati and the Rams?
The Rams have beat the Rams have lost to the 49ers 6 times in a row, including 2 times this year. Including that's the whole reason that the 49ers are here, because they couldn't beat. Because the Rams couldn't beat them, even when the big lead at home couldn't beat them. So, I mean, it's gonna be up to Matthew Stafford and that team to get it done if they're gonna get it done. You know how they always say you got a divisional opponent and you can beat them and keep them out the playoffs. Maybe the Rams should have beat their ass when they had the chance. Now you got to deal with them again. But if you're the Rams and you can beat them, get the last 2 games possibly, you win 2 championships, the NFC Championship and a World Championship at the crib. You can't beat that with a bet.
Hey, let me get in my S talking bag real quick. Bye Green Bay. Bye Packers. Welcome to the playoff couch, Green Bay. Hello.
Oh, boy.
Hello, Green Bay Packers. Frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Well,
hey, that tundra don't mean a damn to me no more, because y'all stay getting cooked at home in the playoffs. They get the 1 seed and they fumble the bag. Ain't nobody trying to hear nothing about no garbage ass Packers getting the 1 seed. And this is not directed at my loved ones. This is directed at them garbage ass Packers in that weak ass frozen tundra where they got eliminated by California-based 49ers. The California-based 49ers come in the snowy Lambeau on that garbage ass frozen tundra and they heat it up and run y'all asses out the playoffs. Bye Green Bay. Welcome to the couch.
I mean, Chris, you really should stop holding back so much.
Hey, bro. Hey, that frozen tundra ain't been worth a damn since the Ice Bowl, and that was in 1967. So there you go, bro. Hey, remember what Randy Moss said when he mooned them, when he mooned Green Bay in the playoffs? He's like, man, I don't give a damn about no touchdown dance. Talk about that W the Niners just put up on Lambeau Field.
Talk about that W. All right, man. Since he was talking about the playoff couch, let me get away from the before we do the pick 'em. Let's go over here to the playoff couch, which is really a couch where you see a lot of GMs and coaches being interviewed and hired right now. We know the Giants, they get ex-Buffalo executive Joe Schoen last week. Everybody now they're I guess supposed to be in the front running for Brian Dable from the Buffalo Bills. We got Byron Leftwich. Everybody think he's the front runner now for the Jacksonville job.
I hope so. I hope so. That's the one person I feel like that's the perfect fit for a specific job. Is Leftwich to the Jags.
We just saw Denver get hire Packer offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett this morning, and and then here in Chicago earlier this week the Bears hire Ryan Poles.
Yes, they did.
Of the Kansas City Chiefs, and now he is hired Matt Eberflus this morning after interviewing Dan Quinn and Jim Caldwell yesterday. So the Bears fired Ryan and Matt after the season, and they hire Ryan and Matt again. So I've just never seen that again. So, but you think they do you believe they have the right Ryan and Matt combo now? Obviously, it wasn't Pace and Nagy. The difference, I guess,
I feel like they did this so Virginia will have to learn new names.
Oh boy. So they're just gonna keep. So are you saying in 4 years from now they could be looking for another Ryan for GM, and in your dreams you hope you can get Matt LaFleur, or be just some Matt that you've never heard of?
It's gonna be Ryan McDermott. I don't know. No,
Ryan.
It's gonna be Ryan.
Our very own Ryan Christopherson, I think, has a very good chance of being the GM job just because his name is Ryan.
Is his name Ryan Grigg? His name is Grigson's first name Ryan?
Ryan who?
Grigson from the Colts?
Yes.
Yeah, so Ryan Grigson and Matt LaFleur, give it 4 years.
How do you feel about the Bears GM and coaching hires, and do you think that the future of Justin Fields is now in good hands? Or are you waiting to just see who comes on the staff with Eberflus as far as the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach and all that stuff?
I'm happy with the hiring of Poles because they hired a black GM. I already said that earlier in the show. So I'm happy for that. But also, I'm really happy with how it looks. They're all in on Poles too. I mean, they went to the airport to pick him up, to bring him to Hallis Hall, to get him into the building. So I think that's a good sign, man. It was like they was sold on Ryan Poles, and that was a dude I hadn't even heard about probably until about the day before he got hired. So, that's a good look for the Bears with the GM. With Eberflus, remains to be seen. I'm 50-50 on that because ideally, I thought they did what I wanted. They got a defensive coach. You need to repair that defense. And with a defensive coach, you get a coach that can get an idea of how to stack schemes against Justin Fields in practice. You get an idea of what's wrong with your quarterback. You know what's wrong with him. You know how to attack him. That's why I wanted to get a defensive coach. You bring somebody in that can give him those schemes and those different looks in practice. But now, how much other offense can Eberflus develop? That remains to be seen. We're going to have to see who he brings on his staff to help the development of Justin Fields.
Yeah. Which you probably on all those points. I know people were kind of critical of Poles being hired at first because they was like, oh, Kansas City again. You just got Matt Nagy from Kansas City. But I think, like I just told you, about how everybody that's going to be getting hired now as GMs and head coaches are probably going to be coming back from their worst moment, right? But you really got to judge everybody off their own merits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't say, okay, every coach from Kansas City going to be bad. You can't say that. Every GM from Kansas City going to be bad. You can't say that. You got to judge everybody off their own merit and their own work that they do with your team. So
let me hit you with some pessimism. Let me hit you with some pessimism. I totally understand why Bears fans would be uncertain about these hirings because, like you said, we literally just did this. We literally just brought in a new GM and a new head coach, literally with the same two names, like you said, and now we're doing it all over again. And
we're going to say, oh, Ryan Poles, he won the Super Bowl with Kansas City a couple of years ago, just like Ryan Pace won with the Saints.
Right. It's the same thing we just did. Same thing we literally just went through with Nagy and Trubisky. So here we go. We Pace, Nagy, and Trubisky. Now it's Eberflus, Poles, and Fields.
Yep, those are going to be the names that are synonymous to the success of this town. We'll find out next year at this town, will it be Bear Down or Bears Down?
I know the Packers are down.
The Packers are down. They're down the offensive coordinator right now because Nathaniel Hackett took the job in Denver this morning. Now the big question is, will that bad man take his talents and his, I guess, weapon-wielding nickname I've given him to the Mile High City to be with Nathaniel Hackett, or will he try to work things out in Green Bay where they're like $40 million over the salary cap? And right now, currently, Devontae Adams is unemployed. So it's going to be something to think of there. Also, you got Ben Roethlisberger, who also retired this morning. So there's another open quarterback spot. And think about if Tom Brady retires in Tampa Bay. You're going to have and Gronk could probably ride out to the sunset with him. Then you would have a pretty good offensive line, and you have Mike Evans or whatever. So you don't think Brady's retiring?
I don't think Brady's retiring. I think he really want to play till he's 50, and I actually kind of want to see it at this point. So I think Brady's going to be back. And also don't think he's going to go out with no loss because that was a bad way to – that's a tough way to lose, man. He had to come back. When his fault, Cooper Kupp cooked that free safety, made him a smoke buccaneer.
I mean, yeah, that's a part of it. Another part of it is the whole defense not getting the whole blitz call and only half of them blitzing. So also, but you said him, but like it's not a him decision. He's made that clear over these past couple of days. It's not just a me decision. I don't always get what I want. It's about what we want. It's a family now. He's got a wife. He's got kids now. You know, he's in a different part of his life now. I wouldn't be surprised if he retired because he always says he didn't want a big celebration. He didn't want the big fanfare. He didn't want all that hoopla. And if he were to announce like, well, next year's gonna be my last year, that's exactly what he would get. He would get all the hoopla and the fanfare and those 8 cities that he went to before. Tampa Bay would be a retirement party. He couldn't get a chance to play. And he got a cake and a motorcycle and a jacket and everything and I think that would probably take away from his I don't know, mental edge he would have over an opponent or whatever. You get there to try to dominate somebody in their blitz games, you get there, there's a party for you in your honor. Here's a statue.
The Tom Brady retirement blitz party.
So I really wouldn't be surprised if he retired. But if he retired, you had open quarterback spots probably open in Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh, and also now with Sean Payton stepping away from the Saints yesterday, another open coaching position. That's like, wow, another open coaching position and a open could be open quarterback thing. I don't know how much they're going to do with Jameis and the Taysom Hill thing. So it's going to be a very, very interesting offseason because you got to feel like, man, the power shift with these quarterbacks. There's be some real quarterbacks moving. I mean, what is Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers? Shit.
Eliminated. Right? Oh, you said without Rodgers. Still eliminated.
Yeah. But think about, I mean, you really got to get somebody in the building if you don't think Jordan Love is going to be ready. What else? That division, I guess, will just go up for grabs. I mean, the Vikings don't have a
Green Bay.
The Vikings haven't said they're going to be all in on Kirk Cousins next season yet. And they don't have a coach either right now. So it's going to be a very interesting thing going on right now as far as the hiring cycle right now as far as coaches and GMs and GMs.
They got rid of Zimmer, right? You're right. Yeah. They let him go. Hey, see, another thing with the Bears, they at least went with a coach with an abnormal name because LaFleur, Zimmer. Now you got Eberflus, you know, because I'm just saying Matt Nagy and Matt Nagy, Mike Patricia, Matt Patricia, Dan Campbell, that ain't really working too well in the NFC North.
I mean, you still ended up with a Matt. I mean, what were the chances that you thought you would be moving on from Matt and moving to Matt? You didn't think you'd be doing that.
I didn't think that was gonna happen at all, man. We was all talking Jim Caldwell.
What were the chances? What's the chances of firing somebody and then hiring somebody with the exact same name? That's like saying Joe and Chris lead students of the game and somebody else comes in. Joe Green and Chris Ryan and Chris Collinsworth end up going.
Now here's a guy. We come over here, here's a guy, y'all, every week. Here's a guy in detention.
Richard T. Nelson saying that the Saints have terrible cap space, though and that job is going to be rough. You're probably right.
He's absolutely right.
I would have to see what they're going to do with that defense and see what they do with the coaching situation, because that just came out the blue.
Hey, man, they're going to have to run Alvin Kamara into a spaceship to win a championship, bro. That's not going to happen.
And does Michael Thomas ever come back with this foot injury? I mean, he signed for a boatload of money and didn't play this last season. Would he be ready for next season?
I hope so.
I mean, you got Ingram and Kamara. That would be that's your running game. You got Thomas. Marquez Callaway showed some promise during the year, their first round pick. Traquan Smith, deep threat. Harris, deep threat. So it'd be very interesting to see what becomes of the Saints.
Hey, New Orleans Saints, embrace the fact that it's time to rebuild. Just embrace it. Just embrace it, man. The Drew Brees era is over.
But here's the thing about rebuilding if you're the Saints and Tom Brady retires. Sam Darnold's in Carolina. Yeah, Sam and Cam in Carolina. That don't look too daunting to do it. And then you got
sound like a garbage ass show on WGN.
Sounded like something off Nickelodeon, right? Sounded like something off Nickelodeon. Sam and Cam. All right, then and then
definitely you got definitely Nick and Knight.
And then you got the Falcons. And they've definitely seen their better days. Matt Ryan definitely has. So they start looking for another quarterback and another whatever's going on with them. So it's not too daunting in New Orleans to say, like, hey, it was 9-8 this year. With Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill and a little bit of Jameis Winston mixed in. So,
hey, can you picture Matt Ryan in another jersey? And if so, where? I can't picture him outside of a Falcons jersey. The only other jersey I can see him in is a Boston College uni.
You see Matt Ryan in Pittsburgh, a little bit closer to home.
That's interesting.
That's a spot open there.
Hey, I'm gonna be real. That's a spot I would take because you got Claypool, you got Schuster, you got Najee Harris running the ball.
You got to run him back.
Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, hell yeah. That's a spot. I'd go there.
You spend a little money on that offensive line, man. Get that offensive line a little bit together there.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all stop buying all them damn terrible towels and spend them on players. You might win something.
Oh boy, I don't know what they spending their money on. I haven't seen no receipts. I don't know what they budget like.
Hey man, I don't know. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, because if there's one coach I have faith in to get through it, I think Mike Tomlin could do it. I think Mike Tomlin can build that team, especially if you give him Matt Ryan. They could reload in that AFC North.
Okay. Yeah. So I see you had the championship stuff up there.
Yeah, that was an accident. Fat fingered it, but let's get to it. Where you want to start with? Which conference you want to start in?
Let's go in the order of the game. So I guess let's start AFC.
All right.
Shout out to one of my best friends, Ray Costilla, diehard Chiefs fan. Just like I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. Just like you a diehard Bears fan. Just like Rod, diehard Raiders fan, and all the other diehard fans.
Hey, Rod. I ain't been hearing from you since the Raiders lost.
Around here. Landon told us earlier that he had Cincinnati beating the Chiefs. So we all know the Chiefs lost to the Bengals week 16, 34-31. And that was the game that gave the Bengals the AFC North crown. That let everybody know but everybody in the AFC on notice, hey, the Bengals are coming. Well, 8 Evan McPherson field goals later, and a couple and more than one pick from Ryan Tannehill to boot. Here are the Bengals here again in the championship game. Now ready for a rematch against Showtime. Pat Mahomes, who put on a show. He's put on a big show all year here in Arrowhead, especially in these playoffs. He aired out the Steelers for 5 touchdowns and had that wow shootout with Josh Allen last week. They eliminated the Bills 42-36 in overtime. But here you go. You got Smoking Joe. You got Joe with the cigar, and he's rolling in. And that Chief offense, that Chief defense can get a little skittish. And Tyrann Mathieu, I don't know if he's gonna play. He went in concussion protocol to getting kicked in the head. You know how I feel about Jeff Sorensen. He has played better, but that Toast contract is right around. It's still on the table. And now here you go with Jamar.
Wait, what's his name?
Jeff Sorensen.
Well, making a special appearance on our show is Jeff Sorensen.
No, boy. Is it Reed Sorensen or Jeff Sorensen? Will make me look it up. I think it's Jeff.
Let's call him Toe Sorensen.
Oh man, Jamar Chase is a bad boy. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, nothing to sneeze at. But these weapons that Showtime got now. Travis Kelce might be one of the baddest tight ends left here. You're talking about Tyreek Hill. You saw him hit him with the deuces. He left Poyer. He hit Poyer and Hyde with the safeties ain't even safe. Peace.
That's a good. Safeties ain't safe. Hey, Cooper Kupp said that same thing. You ain't too safe out here, bro.
Man, right behind. I'm gonna find you and get behind you.
You're right.
So man, I was talking to one of my good friends. Shout out to Eyeball. I was talking to one of my good friends. So the thing about this Cincinnati secondary, it's only giving up. Man, very good. The players only gave up 19 to the Raiders, 16 to the and the 3 picks last week to Tennessee.
And let me stop you right
now.
The
secondary. Go ahead. See what you want to say.
You know what those other 2 teams didn't have.
Showtime.
They didn't have that dude that wears 15 on his jersey.
Showtime. They call him Showtime.
They didn't have Pat Mahomes, bro. They
had Showtime.
They ain't had Tyreek Hill. They ain't had Travis Kelce, and they didn't have 2 Super Bowl appearances.
And he's a different cat in the playoffs.
I mean, look, I like Cincinnati. I like Joe Burrow. I like Jamar Chase. Whoever wins this game, I just hope they end up facing the Rams so we get a shootout. But I just don't think the Bengals might make it interesting. It might be 33-30 or something like that, or 43-40.
That's what it's going to be. You know how it's going to get there? That's exactly what it's going to be. But let me tell you something about the Cincinnati defense. The Cincinnati defense has been rebuilt with an ex-Cowboy on one corner in the Wouzier and an ex-Giant on the other corner. What we used to call roasted apple.
Eli
Apple, but he made a big play, made the deflection to get that other pick. And an ex-Steeler, Mike Hilton. They get Von Bell also, the hard-hitting safety hitting that.
Okay, so they good at free agency.
Wilson has been they've been very good at free agency.
But are they good at AFC championship games? I mean, we won't know. They ain't been to one in like
that thing. We don't know. It wasn't good at winning AFC playoff games on the road until last week, until they finally broke through.
On the road, it wasn't good at all. It wasn't good at winning AFC playoff games at all.
I do think it is a good thing here that they have beaten. For their sake, they do know that they can beat the Chiefs. But in this moment, you know what I think is going to happen?
What?
Bengals, like I told you, I keep harping on this fact that Evan McPherson has 8 field goals, 2 playoffs. He's got 4 field goals a game. Can't bring a knife to a gunfight and mess with the Chiefs.
I was about to say, dude. I'm about to say, if you're going to try that field goal fest the Chiefs to death, bro, expect to lose that game like 45-15 in all 5 of your scores be field goals.
I think this is the classic Chief game.
Yeah,
where they make mistakes early, and the Bengals go up 16-3, and then the Chiefs come all the way back and win at the end, 33-30, just like you said. And that's what's gonna happen. And Joe Burrow gonna be like, "Damn, it's my." I'm
gonna say not so fast. I don't think the Chiefs get down that much. I think the Chiefs come in here, they roll Cincinnati. Because if you let Cincinnati get up 16-3, there's a real chance they might not come back. But I have so much faith in the Chiefs this week.
I got faith in them being down 45-0 in a 2-minute drill, and they'll come back.
If only we had Justin. Here to ask him. But I got Kansas City, man, 34-20. I think Kansas City gonna roll Cincinnati. They'll get them up out of here. Cincinnati gonna probably get like 4 field goals and maybe 1 touchdown to make it interesting. But I got Kansas City winning this, going to the AFC Championship. Hey, Cincinnati, great season, man. But y'all are next, right there with Buffalo, right there with the Houston Texans, and right there with Tennessee, and right there with Lamar, and all these teams that keep taking their best shot at Kansas City. But when it comes down to really playing, you end up sitting on that playoff couch watching the Super Bowl like us. Chiefs by 14.
All right. Moving on to the NFC.
Oh, hold on real quick. Landon said, no fear for
no fear. I mean, because Landon rolling with the Bengals. He's like, who that? Who that? He doing that icky shuffle. You know what I'm saying? Icky shuffle, man. Joe Tiger. You think he taking Joe Tiger in there. You know what I'm saying?
Bengal King, Joe Burrow.
Tiger King, Joe Burrow. Go from the LSU Tigers to the Cincinnati Bengals. Our boy has been playing with Tigers all his life.
Yeah, man. He knows he got his stripes.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Vegas when his career over with Tigers. 49ers at Rams, like I stated earlier, 49ers have won their last 6 games versus the Rams, including 2 this season, including the last game of the season in which they were trailing the Rams 17-3 at halftime on the road in a game they needed to win to make the playoffs. They came back, forced overtime, kicked the field goal, picked off Matthew Stafford in overtime, and now, after a win in Jerry World when the Cowboys simply ran out of time, and a win in Lambeau when the Packers special teams wasn't so special, they are now in the NFC Championship game against their rivals from Southern California, who they have handled the last 6 times. But Matthew Stafford has been great here in these playoffs. He's completed the passes he's had to complete, including those 2 big passes last week to Cooper Kupp to set up the field goal after the Rams had blew a 24-point lead. Now, here's the thing about them blowing that 24-point lead. It really wasn't Matthew Stafford's fault. I mean, the snap part, I don't know who that was between the center of the wide receiver, but damn, Cam Akers. I mean, Cooper, what was in your cup in that fumble? And Cam Akers, I mean, come on, man. I mean, not that got to be Sean McVay's fault. I mean, if I already saw you fumble at the 1, I'm going to put you in a situation when I know they're trying to strip the ball. I know that's the only hope they got, and not put you in the game.
And then you fumble. And then you do exactly what they thought you was going to do.
Took him to the strip club. Ndamukong Suh left the tip. But like I said, Stafford made the big throw, Kupp made the big catch, and that was on to the championship. These are the games that Matthew Stafford wanted to play in. I don't know if this is the team that he wanted to do it again. Something about being hot this part of the season. I mean, if you win a game over, if you hold Aaron Rodgers 10 points and win a game on a block punt, it's your only touchdown. You hot. That's the epitome of hot. You're more hotter than that. I don't know if it's luck involved.
No, that's a lot. I'm gonna be real. I'm about to say that's a lot of luck because if you want to be real, how they got out of that first game with Dallas, like you said, Dallas ran out of time, and Green Bay had them beat. Man. That punt block, that was good. That was a timely punt block. But I don't think they're gonna get that much luck.
I believe Jimmy Garoppolo's throwing for what, about 300 yards here in the 2 playoff games.
Come on, dude. Like, come on, bro.
But you can't score against them. I mean, as long as they've only given up 27 points.
Can't lose if they can't score.
Exactly. So I think this game definitely is about the running game. Both teams want to run. You know, the 49ers want to run. The Rams want to run too. That's how they set you up for them big old shots with Cooper Kupp, Adele Beckham, and they bomb specialist Van Jefferson. That's how they set you up for that, through the running game. So, man, it's going to be a big game. Familiarity. These teams, they don't get more familiar than a division opponent you can see for the 3rd time this season that you saw the last game of the season. Don't get no more familiar.
Rams. I got the Rams winning this, but it's going to come down, once again, same thing. It's going to come down to the clock control. Clock control for the Niners will be key. I expect them to run the ball about 30 times to try to keep the Rams on defense. But the problem is, I think the Rams are a much better team than anybody they faced so far in the playoffs. Dallas was probably the best team before they played Green Bay because Green Bay can be iffy sometimes. I think the Rams, they're all around a better team here. But same way I felt last week against Green Bay, man. The Niners run it and control the clock. They could get out of here. But I pray we don't see Chiefs-Niners again because we just saw that. So, Chiefs-Rams.
Situational football. Situational football here. Situational football. I feel like the first game, San Francisco was able to play that game as far as their running game and everything against the Cowboys because, 1, Cowboys couldn't stop the run, and 2, whenever they did stop the run, they still put the 49ers in advantageous situations because they was committing all kind of penalties. So they really played in front of the chains all game. Really, Green Bay had them right where they wanted them last week with the defense. Kept them in the game until where they couldn't pull away. So it was, as they always say, one play away. That was the epitome of being one play away. You just don't know which play, and it ends up being a Jordan Willis block punt to Holuna Tafunga. returned that in 6 yards.
Right.
Just wanted to say that. Tafunga.
The fungi.
Tafunga.
That's
So now, here they go. See, here's the thing about this game. 49ers can start off bad and come back. They already did it. They know they can do it.
And they can run the ball to control the clock.
The Rams can have no 10-3 first half against them. I don't think they can do that. Because then
they could.
Then palms get sweaty and your ass get tight. And people in SoFi start looking around like, man, we're supposed to get a Super Bowl this year. And the 49ers win the bid.
You know how in the NBA they say the 3-pointer is the great equalizer? When you go against the Niners, a 30-yard completion is the great equalizer. You just need one. You just need one 30-yard completion to get down the field on the Niners. Get in the field goal range.
Well, evidently they did that the first game. They was up 17-3 and they still couldn't get the win.
Hey, man.
And I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this right now. The 49ers, I mean, the Rams only had really one successful offensive half against the 49ers. And that was the first half of their second game. The first game, they got dominated in San Francisco. So, man, can they change up and not get dominated? Or can they do just enough?
I did too, Rick. I did too. Palms get sweaty, knees weak, mom spaghetti. I thought you was going to do that too because I started to say it myself.
I thought about it, Rich. I
thought about it, man.
I see how they suing people, man. I saw how Cardi B sued Tasha Kane, man. I ain't want Eminem might get win of the show, man. You don't own my mask up and just tear my poetry.
Speaking of, I was thinking about Eminem last night, how like every beat he produced sound like a movie fight scene. Like his old beats, like the Eminem show era, all them beats sound like every Eminem produced beat sound like a fight scene. Just like every Kid Cudi produced beat sound like the end of a movie.
I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
Got the Rams. This is the one we disagree on. Rams Chiefs Super Bowl.
Just because they some pests, man. They just do enough to do it, yeah. They got road wins in LA. They got road wins in Dallas. They got a road win in Cincinnati. I mean, now they're at a point where they playing with real house money against an opponent that they know. But that's going to overtime.
That's just it. You playing an opponent you know, and they know you too.
And it's going overtime again.
Okay.
Overtime. San Francisco 29, Rams 23. First possession of overtime.
I was like, do the Rams get the ball? Do the Rams get to touch it at all, G?
Nah. But here's the thing. I ain't gonna change my prediction, but here's the thing. I said what I said. Matthew Stafford, don't let it be no Rams touch the ball and be no pick six. And be like, damn, Matthew Stafford, we brought you here for that. We didn't bring you here for that. They brought you here supposed to be an upgrade over Jared Goff. Jared Goff in Detroit helping Dan Campbell bite people's kneecaps. You supposed to be in here under palm trees, raising Lombardi trophies, Matthew Stafford. Is you gonna get it done?
I was just about to say that, man. Be like, hey, this ain't Detroit. You ain't supposed to be with Dan Campbell bite kneecaps. This LA, man. We trying to win titles, man. I got the Rams, man. I think the Rams win this. I'm not going overtime, but I think it will be like 30-27. So Rams.
Okay. There it is.
Or 2017. 3-point win for the Rams.
3-point win.
Yeah, it depends on how much the Niners run it. If it
don't bet against Robbie. See, it's all about running the ball, stand in front of the chains, situational throws, and then you make throws. And just when you think they get up in on the run, they go George Kittle 1-on-1. And they go somebody being a Jonathan Bill, do a book bag or something, trying to tackle George Kittle, or trying to tackle Debo Samuel, being a Jonathan Bill, do a book bag over there. It could happen.
Vildor did get treated like a book bag. Freiermuth caught that ball with that man on his back, rolled over, and then threw him off. Like, he was like, get off of me, dude. Get your little ass off me.
Your low ass.
Get your little ass.
Get your low ass. Yo, low ass.
Sure, hey, I used to defend people 6'5", and I ain't never get treated like no backpack. I'm just saying.
Ooh, okay.
That's what I was saying, man.
I see what you're saying, man.
I was 5'6", and I was sticking a 6'5" tight end. He ain't treat me like no backpack.
Yeah. I like how you did
when they threw the hill.
I like how you dish out. I like how you dish out that smoke with just a little bit of shade.
Hey man, I'm just saying you got treated like a backpack.
All right,
man, rolled off and set up. My day's over.
I can see him.
Early gold star. Hell of a permanent gold star for this year. to Robbie Good as Gold, baby. Robbie Good as Gold. You get a permanent gold star for 2022. Thank you, Robbie.
What did he do?
What did he do? He eliminated the Green Bay Packers, and he said exactly what I was thinking too when they lost that game. But I won't say it.
And what were you thinking?
What were you really thinking? I'll just say it rhymes with "muck the Packers."
I would like to ask you this because I work with Jake at UIC, and I was able to talk to him this weekend. And I did ask him about the game Sunday when I saw him. I said, "Was that Rodgers' last time?" He was like, "Oh hell yeah, that's it." So
he said that was it. He said that's it.
He think that's Rodgers' last. He think Rodgers' time in Lambeau is done. So you, Chicago Bear care for aficionado, do you think that's the last time you got to deal with that bad man 2 times a year? Is your owner actually going to stop owning you by not playing you 2 times a year?
Hey, if he goes to another team, he still owns us. He's just wearing a different jersey. Because we never beat him. Because we never beat him to take that back. So, but yeah, I think it's 50-50, man. I think it's 50-50. You might see him go to Denver with Nathaniel Hackett. For the past few years, every time this comes up, I'm like, why don't you just go to California, man? You ain't tired of being in cold-ass Lambeau to get eliminated? Like, come on, man. Go to the West Coast.
Where do you go to California to now? San
Francisco. Go to San Francisco, man.
They don't even need it. We can't even beat Jimmy Garoppolo. Why would I want Aaron Rodgers when he's been 2-0 against Jimmy Garoppolo?
Okay, Kevin Durant with the Golden State. Aaron Rodgers can do that too.
I guess. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers, they both going to the Golden State. Look at it.
And it's going to be a lot of money involved too.
I think it's a lot of money involved. I think it's more likely he'll go to Denver though.
There you go, man. You ain't got to deal with him.
Wrap his career like Peyton Manning did.
Wrap it up in Denver. You wrap it up in Denver with a ring or two, a couple of Super Bowl appearances. That's exactly what he's playing for.
Shout out Denver. Loved him last April.
Shout out Denver. Mile High City.
Definitely a mile high. Man, that altitude ain't no joke, man. Altitude ain't no joke.
MLB.
That's a sport. That's a sport still. I forgot about it.
Major League Baseball. They had this thing called the Hall of Fame. My one inductee. I'm just gonna give it away. That is one of my gold stars on this week. David Ortiz, former Boston Red Sox slugger, former World Series champion, only player inducted, received 77.4% of the vote. Needed 75 to get in. But the guys who didn't get in are the ones that's making all the news. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, each not getting that 75% of the vote. I believe Clemens was somewhere around 65 and Bonds was like at 66 or 67. So I guess the question for those guys, the question is, will those guys ever get into the Hall of Fame? And every year, as every year passes, does this also make more of a case for a guy like Pete Rose, who didn't do steroids, who didn't do any of that thing, but had the gambling thing, ever getting in?
I think.
Say yep.
No, I didn't say yep. I have a mixed reaction on this because I've always had a mixed reaction on baseball's Hall of Fame because of how strict they are, for people to get into it, which is like you should do that because everybody shouldn't just be in the Hall of Fame. But it's like, dude, these are some tight ass rules, bro. Like, man, it's really tight.
Yes, they are.
It's really tight. But here's how I feel. As some baseball should just embrace steroids. Just embrace the steroid era, man. Just embrace it. Just embrace it. I understand it's a black eye on the sport because you literally have a generation, and trust me, I'm from that generation. A generation of fans that grew up watching the steroid era. You know why I'm a fan of baseball? Because of Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. You know why I'm a fan of baseball? Barry Bonds making that run for 73 home runs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys that are going to get kept out the Hall are reason why people born in the 90s are partly fans, if you want to be real. So I just think at some point, baseball is going to have to come to a crossroad where it's like you may have to accept that some of these people were linked to steroids Jeff Passan said, I think he had the best statement. He said, look, I understand, but at the end of the day, the guy with the most home runs in the history of the damn league should be in the Hall of Fame. And I totally agree with that. I think Barry Bonds should be in there. You can say what you want about Roger Clemens. There'll be other pitchers, but Barry Bonds should be in
there. Yeah, and take that thing about Barry Bonds a little bit further. You know, before he had the big, I guess, home run spike when he got to San Francisco in that part of his career. Yeah. You already probably looked at Barry Bonds as a Hall of Fame type player from everything that he was doing in Pittsburgh is all the time, as far as being a 5'2" player, as far as being 30-30 and a 40-40 type guy, you know, with all that talent and defensively and everything, assisting everything, the whole enchilada, whatever. So,
what about a guy like A-Rod?
Yes, that's gonna be the thing because it's like a whole.
Like I said, that whole generation. The whole generation. It's like, what did he do clean? What did he do clean and what did he do dirty? You can't tell.
All the players that have any type of notoriety right up in that thing are probably going to have, say they have like at least one transgression around that time. So that's going to be the crazy part about it. Landon is on board saying, hey, Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame.
Even Big Papi was linked. Big Papi was linked to roids. But you know what? You know what I say about Big Papi being linked to roids? I could get at a pass because Boston had won a World Series in like 80 years. And like, who the hell else you going to put from that team in the Hall of Fame? Like, let's be real. You're not going to put Manny in there. Only thing, was Manny even there yet at that point?
Like, Justin Pedroia.
You're not putting him in there, dude. That dude was hurt like the last 6 years of his career. Like, come on, dude. Come on, man.
Even though he asked me a question.
I did, but but hey, I say this, he did have a case up until he kept getting hurt. But no, I think Big Papi, you know, that I can see them giving him a pass. But at
Pedro Martinez.
Maybe. He said in the chat, Landon says, here's what he said in the chat. He said, that isn't fair. The fact of the matter is that they like Big Papi. I mean, Big Papi is worthy, though. Like, he's worthy, though, man. And then, like, once again, man, Boston hadn't won a title in 86 years. And then after that, they won, like, 3. They won, like, 3 World Series in 10 years.
So you're saying just because they hadn't won a title and it just had to, he just gets named because he's a player of the team. That isn't fair, though.
It isn't, but, like, what other explanation could there be for him getting in there other than that? What other explanation do you have?
That's like if it's a player that was named, if a player that was on the Cubs that was, say, Jason Hayward is having up for Hall of Fame discussion, but he got a steroid thing around that time when the Cubs won the championship. You say, well, hey, he took steroids, but hey, the Cubs were in a drought and he was a star of the team. That ain't kind of fair.
I think that's like comparing apples to oranges because by that point MLB had really tightened up on the steroids. And like, you know, like that, like you gotta realize steroids, that's not like a 1 or 2 year thing. That was for years, dude. Like the whole 90s,
it was years before even got.
That was years before they.
And in the 90s, it wasn't really even getting tested for. I mean,
exactly.
Really started testing for steroids, what, 2003 or 4?
Like 2003, dude. Like, come on, this is fairly new. This is fairly modern. The fact that they started to test for steroids. So at what point, you know, that's what I'm just saying. At some point, they might just want to embrace it. Just embrace the fact that it happened. There are some people that, like Rafael Palmer, he can forget it after he lied. You know, some people forget it.
I did not.
Right. He can forget it because he lied. But it's like at what point did the Hall of Fame become about morals and not about what happened on the field? You know,
integrity,
right? Because that's what
integrity point, or celebrity.
At this,
if you don't hit them home runs, you won't be a celebrity.
At this point, because at this point they keeping Pete Rose out for integrity, and it's like, come on, dude. I'll deal with that more than I'll deal with steroids. That's outright cheating. This dude was trying to make some bread like the rest of us are trying to do. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. So it's okay to bet to make money, but you know, it's not okay to bet to make money. But if you cheat to use steroids, we'll consider you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. That's what I'm saying.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Exactly. Baseball is in a position where they just got to embrace. At some point, you kind of just got to embrace the dirtiness of the history of Major League Baseball.
Embrace the dirtiness.
Embrace the dirtiness. Like, it went unchecked. It went unchecked for so long that it's hard to say Where's the fine line at? Where's the fine line?
That sounds like a triple X name podcast for a triple X podcast or something. Embrace the dirtiness. Embrace the dirtiness.
Well, that's what we naming this one, dog. We naming this one. Embrace the dirtiness.
Oh boy.
Embrace the dirtiness. G.
Oh wow.
What's your thoughts, man?
My thoughts on that is I don't know if they ever actually had anything positive on Barry Bonds. There were a lot of allegations about creams and pills, anything, but I don't know if he ever had a drug-related suspension during his career, anything. So I would say he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should be in the Hall of 755. He should be in the Hall of Fame alone for that. 755, though.
A lot of stolen bases, too.
760. Is it 55 or 60? 762, I'm sorry.
762.
762, man. He should be in the Hall for that, bro.
You're going to get that. Probably not. It's going to always be a fight about that. You're going to have guys like
fight, dude.
You're going to have guys like you're going to have the Jim Tomeys of the world and the Canuckos of the world, people that did it clean or whatever, or never got caught or whatever. And we're like, man, I guess we talk about the fairness part of it. I don't know.
Okay, all right. If Michael Jordan, if it came to find out Michael Jordan did steroids, should the NBA? Well, you think the NBA would erase everything he ever? You think they like this was basketball, and they found out Michael Jordan did steroids? You think they keep Michael Jordan out the Hall of Fame? Because that would be hella stupid if they did.
They found out now.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not.
That's stupid, dude. The dude, like, bro, what does that say about your sport where you can't even put the guy with the most home runs in the Hall of Fame? What does that say? It's an incomplete story of Major League Baseball is what it is. Yeah. The whole thing is just bad PR. A lot of this is just bad PR, honestly. That's all this really is, bad PR.
It's a subject that I guess we visited every year coming around Hall of Fame time. Well,
in the chat, Landon Woodard says Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. So should Kurt Schilling and Roger Clemens. They were a major part of baseball during that time. Clemens in the 80s, yeah. Schilling passed. I'm cool on Schilling. Barry Bonds should go in though. Bonds and Clemens could go in. And by the way, shout out Roger Clemens. I had a chance to see him last year. He came to a Dogs game.
Shout out to Rocket.
Yeah, shout out to Rocket, man.
Well.
But like I said, Barry Bonds, the only reason why I'm harping specifically on Barry Bonds, because he's literally number one all time. He's number one all time in home runs. Pete Rose, literally number one all time.
Number one hit leader, number one home run leader, not in the Hall of Fame.
Not even in the Hall of Fame, bro. Like, come on.
Seem weird, don't it?
Now you see what I was saying.
Does Clemens lead? Who was our strikeout leader still? Cy Young?
Nolan. I think it's Nolan. Ain't it
Nolan? Wouldn't that be crazy? I mean, just two major categories: the most hits and the most home runs, not in the Hall of Fame. It is weird.
And then on top of that, in baseball, defense can't score for you. So, what are you really saying here? So, what are you really trying to tell me here, dude?
Defense can prevent, but they can't score.
They can't score, right? So, what are you really trying to tell me?
Wow. What I'm trying to tell you is, bad mother.
Hey.
Bad mother. See, I can put a lot of energy into it. The only person that's here is the cat. It's only me and the cat. Cat's not gonna get upset about it.
Is he a cool cat?
He's a cool cat.
Is he a cool cat and kitten?
He's a cool cat that's on his way out. He's supposed to be leaving here after he finished the food. The family doesn't want the cat anymore. I think I love them. I just think they're just ruthless individuals to go and adopt somebody 2 or 3 years ago, and now they're just gonna put them back in a box and send them back. So they're pretty ruthless. I don't know how the cat feels about this emotionally. I don't even know if he really knows it.
Right,
he usually gets like a 16-pound bag of food, and this one was like a 7-pound bag. They told me get little bags, and you got to get them out of here.
Hey, when you look at cats don't look like they care too much about nothing in this world until you start giving them food.
That's the problem. That's probably the problem here now. He doesn't care for anything in the world. He scratches at doors. He doesn't want to move it. He moves at his own pace. He hisses at people. That's when they really get upset. So
Cats be looking at you like,
Yeah.
Cats be like, what you doing here, bro? Why you in my world? That's how
Yep.
Cats be looking at you. You in my world.
Yep. Smell shit, just start running, just take off running. What he does.
And we got stray cats over here, man. I be walking, they be looking at me like, "What you doing in my world, bro?" I'm like, "Bro, this is my house. You gotta go somewhere."
And like, yeah, you going in the house at 5 a.m. This ours. At 12 in the morning on your porch.
In my world, bro.
Yeah, 12 cats on your porch at 5 in the morning. Oh man, word of the week. Return.
Okay.
Mine's is return. Return means to come back to something. And I'm back to something. Back to students of the game. New year. Woo! See how excited I was? Woo!
Yay!
If it was nighttime, I would be having a whiskey sour. But it's not nighttime, so I'm having a little ice mountain. Return. Word of the week. Return.
Ice mountain. Let me sip a little bit of this.
Water with Walter.
My word of the week is frozen tundra.
Oh boy. Man.
My word of the week is frozen tundra at Lambeau Field. Bye, Green Bay. That's all I got. Hey, shout out my future father-in-law, man. I'm sorry, man, but I know it was. I talked to him the next day, man. He was upset, but
yeah, I can see how emotionally hurt that you're there for him right now. When you said he was hurt, but
all right, let me tell you this: when he called his daughter, I was present, and he said, "Where's Chris?" He said, "Where's Chris? Let him get it out the way now." That's literally what he said, bro.
That was as soon as the game was over.
Bro. No, the next day.
So you got it out the way. So what did you do? Just laugh?
I just laughed.
Laugh hard.
I said that's a tough loss, man. You know, block punt is a tough way to get eliminated, man. And I was like, what's up with that frozen tundra, bro?
Then you laugh probably just like that, and he probably just hung up on your ass, bro. How long did you laugh?
About 2 seconds. You know.
That's all.
I ain't gonna.
That's bullshit.
I'm still dating his daughter.
I think you're lying.
I gotta be respectful.
I don't think you know how long 2 seconds is? Count to two. Count to two. And tell me you didn't laugh. That's as short as you laughed. And the Packers losing, and that the way they lost, as much as you troll, you want to sit up here and tell me you only laughed for 2 seconds.
I only laughed too. I had a game. I had a doubleheader to go to. I ain't had time to be laughing at him.
Shit, you would have made time. I think you laughed at least 26 seconds. Continue. That's what I think. At least count to 26 and laugh while you doing it. Now that's a laugh.
Hey, big dog, it's all love, but we just on different sides of the rivalry line. You know,
I know it.
I still date his daughter, man. I got to be respectful, bro.
Hopefully the dating can go smoother now since the seasons for both of y'all are over. Gold stars. I already told you I had one for Big Poppy. His stats for his career: 286, hit 286, 541 homers, drove in 1,768 RBIs. Big Poppy. What's up, Big Sean J in the house? What's going on? Yeah, Big Poppy, Hall of Fame induction. That's one of my gold stars. Another one of my gold stars. Man, he went down in a blaze of glory. Gabriel Davis becoming synonymous with NFL postseason history.
Yes, he did.
He had 8 catches for 201 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns in Arrowhead. 4 touchdowns has never been done in the playoffs. He's the first and only person to ever do that. Gabriel Davis, synonymous with NFL greatness in the postseason. 4 touchdown catches in one game. And my last gold star goes to the Boston Bruins. They retired the number of Willie O'Ree, who was the first NHL black player.
Yeah.
His first made his appearance in the NHL January 17th, 1958. And the Bruins retired his number last week. So shout out to them for recognizing Willie O'Ree.
I'm sharing those first 2 with you, which was the Hall of Famer Big Poppy. And what was the second one you said before Willie O'Ree? I forgot to think.
Gabriel Davis.
Gabriel Davis, yes, the 4 TDs. My other 2 gold stars, man. Hey, man, it's ladies' night, man. It's lady night. Chicago State women's basketball, man. First home win since February 23rd, 2019. They got it done on Tuesday, a 3-point win over New Mexico State. Shout out to Leah Collins. Shout out Jasmine Covington. And shout out Coach Tiffany Sarton, her first home win for the Chicago State Cougars as they beat New Mexico State on Tuesday afternoon. And then my last gold star goes to Ayoka Lee of Kansas State. 61 of them things, boy. 61.
How you do that? How you do that to a ranked team?
A ranked team, right? Beat Oklahoma. She with a 61.
A ranked team
on a ranked number 14 Oklahoma. Shout out Ayoka Lee. Also, the next day, it's announced she's a candidate for Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. So, hey man, rack it up, Ayoka. You out there killing it. Right, rack it all up. Right, rack it all up.
Mm-hmm. Rack it up.
Ayoka. Right, gold star to Ayoka Lee. What a week, man. What a dominating week for her. Yeah. And also Auburn, the Auburn Tigers men's basketball team, 16 straight wins. They're number 1 for a reason. They're 19-1.
That's probably the reason.
Yeah.
Detention. This also goes to the other part of your I guess your family, I might as well call them. When I had to call out one unit that just sucks. And I used to say something, I believe, when I first started doing Student to the Game with you, back when we was at IMS, I used to like to call it, you can't have special ed teams in the playoffs.
Yeah,
special ed teams, which is exactly what the Green Bay Packers had on Saturday night. They failed to block Jimmy Ward on a blocked field goal attempt to end the first half. And then they repeated this feat when they failed to block Jordan Willis on a block punt, which ultimately led to their demise on Saturday night as they lost 13-10. You have to be sound in the kicking game. This is the NFL. I am from a team where I have seen my team botch our Super Bowl run because they couldn't handle a snap. Hear me? The kicker that missed the field goal, my holder couldn't handle the snap. Yeah. I am from a world where I've seen Matt Walsh be at home and miss a 26-yard field goal. I mean, kick it that way. 26 yards. I live in a city that is which is home to the double doink.
Oh my, double doink. He missed it. Double doink.
So just to see another poor special teams performance cost a team in the playoffs. It's just terrible, funny. Man.
It's funny.
I know it's funny to you, but I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, the Green Bay special teams is in detention.
It's not funny that is Green. I'm not talking about Green Bay. It's funny. It's funny to me that we both picking like the last game on Saturday and Sunday of last week for detention, because my detention goes to the Buffalo Bills. Who the hell was calling them damn plays on them last drives of that game, man? You had the 3 down linemen. It was working. Why the hell would you put 4 down linemen when you're protecting the lead?
Also, tell them next time when they get in that situation and they got Showtime Mahomes over there, squib kick. Try to get a few of them seconds off squib kick.
Something why are you kicking the ball off? You kicking the ball off to Kansas City. You literally gave this man 13 seconds, and you know what he did with the 13 seconds? He made the most of them.
And he had timeouts.
And he had timeouts. They had 3 down linemen. Why? And you know what happened as soon as they went to the 4 down linemen? He hit Tyreek Hill for a 64-yard TD. You know what happened as soon as they went to the 4 down lineman? He had Kelsey for that big catch. They got him in field goal range. Buffalo, whoever the hell was calling them plays, the DC, the head coach, I don't know who it was. So whoever was calling them damn plays, you in detention. That's just bad situational awareness, man. You protecting the lead. What are you doing?
Well, at least you know that my choice for y'all coach, Leslie Frazier, won't be our coach now. So you can take some.
I know Dable won't be our coach neither. He won't be Dable either. So nothing against Dable because that looked good for Allen, but That's still a bad. That was just a bad. That's bad situational awareness, man. You went from being in this hosting the AFC Championship to watching it. So detention. 13 seconds went from hosting to watching. Damn.
Yeah, I got a couple more.
Oh damn, we heavy this week. Well, we ain't been here, so yeah.
We heavy in the chat. What do we have in the chat?
No, we don't have nothing in the chat. I said, damn, we heavy on detention today. I didn't know we had that many.
Oh, I got a couple more. They're both really the same thing, but media abuse. How about Penny Hardaway went off on a reporter?
That was I was happy to see that. He deserved that. He
was happy to see him go off on a reporter.
Yeah, I mean, happy to see that.
As a reporter, I mean, you still got to kind of do your job.
That's true, but wrong is wrong, dog.
All right, so I mean, I'm giving him a detention. You don't sound like you would give him a detention. I mean, injuries are part of the game.
You talking about the press conference where he was like, "Stop talking bad on my name" and all that? That's what you talking
about? I sent it to you. I sent it to our little group thing. If you want.
I ain't see that.
Go on. Okay. Oh, I mean, but yeah, he snapped like, stop asking me them MNF and stupid ass questions.
Yeah.
That's probably the same one when he had on the jogging suit.
Yeah, the little jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably the same one that we're talking about, but
yeah, because
I know reporters.
He got a point though, because Memphis was ranked earlier in the year, and they've been dealing with COVID, and then like the team is hella young. Like they two best players are freshmen, Imani Bates and Jalen Duren, and then on top of that, it's still college athletes. So it's like, why do they well, that's the thing you got to remember. Like they still kids, dude. And I mean they older, but they still like 18, 19 years old. They college athletes, they freshmen. And Memphis is losing because of COVID, and then because of the fact they're a young team. Like, what do you expect, dude? Just because you put expectations on them to be a national championship contender, don't mean they're gonna live up to it, dude. If I pick the Jaguars to win the Super Bowl next year, you know who's the dumbass there? Okay, then.
I mean, the Jaguars might win though. What if Aaron Rodgers goes?
No, dude. I'm just saying, no, dude. Hey, if
Aaron Rodgers and Byron Leftwich going to the Jaguars.
They might be a contender, actually.
Trevor Lawrence getting traded to Green Bay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes I think just from the outside, media members they try to push the agenda of their expectations on the team, and they start getting mad when it don't happen. And it's like that's a middle finger going up. But it's like, you dude, nobody told you to have them expectations. That was your goofy ass who thought that.
I mean. What is Imani Bates? Was he the top recruit coming in or whatever? Yeah,
Imani Bates literally turns 18 tomorrow, dog. Like, come on, bro. Like, what do you like? He's a freshman. What you expect, bro? The team is gonna struggle.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the whole question and see what was asking to make him blow up like that, to blow up with all the profanity. Because I feel like you gotta act. I mean, they seem to do the press conference. I mean, what am I supposed to ask him then? I don't want to go ahead like I'm walking on eggshells. He asked him. I think the question was like, why is team? I think it was like maybe what we talking about. Why the team was underachieving? How did he feel about them underachieving? How did he feel about them not playing well or something? And that's when he blew up with 18 to 17-year-olds playing against 22-year-olds. Man, what you expect?
Yeah, he was tripping. He was tripping with that. Now he was tripping with that one because they are not that much. You're not playing Bishop Sycamore. Stop playing. But
yeah, that's what I was saying. He was going on
that one. Yeah, he was tripping with that one. But as a whole, I agree with his message. Like, dude, we got a 17-year-old freshman who's gonna be 18 tomorrow, dude. Like, what you expect, bro? Like, what you expect, dude? Like, they young.
Greatness.
Like, you expect them to come in here and go, what you want them to go 20-0 like Gonzaga or something? Like, come on, dude. What about it?
They obviously expect greatness.
Yeah. They have, but I also think a lot of Penny frustration came out in that because they have dropped the ball in some big. Like early on, like they was getting smacked when they were ranked. But it's like when you look at this team now, like you gotta remember when you talk college, the preseason rankings are expectations. When you actually see them on the court, it's like, okay, yeah, they got talent with Duren and Bates, but they're clearly a young team. Like, come on, dude. Like, get over it.
And my last attention for almost the same thing about Joe Biden. You think that's going to help inflation? Stupid son of a bitch. What's going on with Joe? I mean, who's poking Joe to make him go off like that? I mean, why?
Hey, he the president.
Potty mouth Biden. You can say anything you want. He's president.
I feel like when you the president, I just feel like that's naturally a stressful job. So it's only right you cut somebody out every once.
So sometimes you think that's going to help inflation? You stupid son of a bitch.
You stupid son of a bitch.
Watch your mouth, Joe. Be an example to the kids. Mute your mic or something. Do it on Twitter or something. Like a lot of the presidents. Do it like the last president did on Twitter.
Hey, no, don't do it on Twitter. We don't need no more presidents engaged in Twitter beef. We don't need no more of that, G.
That's right.
We literally just lived through that for 4 years, bro. I'm cool, bro.
You stupid son of a bitch.
I will say this about the president now. It feels good to not see the president in the news every damn day. It feels not to see that every damn day, bro. Like, man.
Definitely.
Like, man.
Definitely.
Now I can actually focus on basketball and not worrying about whether my country gonna end up in a war or something like that. Watch the games and stuff.
Oh boy.
I'm serious, man. With that person in office, man, every other week it was like, bro, I don't know, man. We might wake up in a war, dog. How he be tweeting.
Yeah.
So like, I'm glad now with Biden, I'm glad he stays out the news.
Yep. You got any more detention for me?
No, that's it. That's all I had, bro. That Buffalo thing pissed me off because I thought that was a glaring weakness in the middle of an otherwise great game, man. But then again, at the same time, if we don't get that garbage, we don't get that greatness. So I don't know.
Maybe they were in on it. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe both of the defenses were in on it. I don't know.
Hey, man,
why are you tripping?
Don't start that. We're gonna start that because I forgot. Gold start to the NFL divisional round. That was the greatest round of playoff football I've ever seen. Never ever have I given a round a gold star, but I'm giving that round of the playoffs a gold star because all 4 games were good.
Shout out to all those who made that round possible. All the fumbles by the Rams, the futility of the Green Bay special teams unit, the futility of Ryan Tannehill, and
shout out the Rams for that practical joke. They was like, hey, you know what would be funny? If we choked. And then it was like, no, I'm just playing.
That's choking. It's not Matthew Stafford's fault.
Not just playing.
Shout out to Richard T. Nelson. Shout out to Landon.
Yeah, shout out Landon who just said great games indeed.
Shout out to my good guy Reese. Just turned 48 early this week or whatever. You know? Hey. Who got?
Shout out my uncle, man. Shout out my uncle. His birthday was earlier this week. So shout out to my uncle, man. His birthday was Monday. And my mom's birthday was last a few weeks ago, 2 Thursdays ago. Yeah.
2 Thursdays ago. Well, happy belated birthday 2 weeks ago to your mother. Mother's birthday coming up.
Shouted it out on ESPN Plus too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
I love a good shameless plug. ESPN Plus.
Yeah, tonight, man, Chicago State men's basketball versus Utah Valley University. Utah Valley got Fardal's AMAC. He's got 17 double-doubles in 19 games, averaging 19 and 14 points and rebounds.
Big time like Peter Gabriel, boy, I tell you.
Big time.
So, yeah, man. That's it, man. So, happy birthday to them all, like Landon said. We are out of here until the next time. I guess the next time will be, I don't know if it's going to be a Monday morning. I know I got to work Tuesday morning. We'll see what happens next week. We'll embrace the dirtiness. Like I said, it just sounds like a Triple X podcast name to that. Embrace the dirtiness.
I mean, Lisa Ann followed me on Twitter. So, I mean, if I wanted to start that podcast, that's who I would reach out to.
Yeah, it's just like I always say in the playoffs, turn up the nasty. SOTG 152. Thank you for everybody that joined us in the chat. Richard, Sean, Landon, whoever gonna watch the show later when it start getting broken down and shared or whatever. Yeah, man, that's what's going on, man. We'll see how many more shows we can hit y'all with, man. Life is coming at us fast and hard, man. We just trying to fit them in there whenever we can. So we keep having these morning things.
What time are the games on Sunday? Landon is asking that in the chat. So
2 o'clock and 5:30.
There you go.
2 p.m. and 5:30. Chiefs. And then you have Chiefs hosting Bengals at 2 p.m. And then you have At 5:30, you have Rams and Niners.
Chiefs Bengals is the real main event.
Chiefs and Bengals is the real main event.
If you ask
We'll
me,
see, man. I thought we were the real main event.
We are.
Okay.
Oh,
Dr.
my game.
Chris,
Oh, my game.
oh,
my game tonight. My game is at 7. My game is at 7 tonight.
The game is
ESPN
7.
Plus. Yeah, but my game is at 7 tonight. Chicago State, Utah Valley, 7 o'clock. ESPN Plus.
My game is 6:30.
Yeah. Y'all got USC
women against somebody. You might see me, or you might not see me.
Ain't no Mike. We see you every game sitting at that.
You didn't see me last game. I didn't do that last game. I had to be on the camera last game. I was working game cam last game.
We still
me,
see
Dan,
you.
and Jake. You still see me?
That short?
Yeah, it was that short. It was that short. Me and Alex was the only people there. So yeah, man. So for Dr. Chris Rouse, I'm Dr. Joseph Gregory. We'll see you next time on Students of the Game. Peace.